Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for February 3rd, 2012. It is the Friday before this big Super Bowl, and everyone's excited about the Super Bowl, especially in the New York City metropolitan area, especially if you're a Giants fan, as you go for the second Super Bowl in, 4 years? So clearly a lot of excitement throughout the Northern Mid-Atlantic for the Super Bowl this weekend, but one thing that will not be a major impact will be the weather. When we look at the current observations as of 5:56 a.m., you could see that temperatures range from the mid 20s to the lower 30s throughout the region. Chilly, yes, but not anything that is seriously cold, especially for this time of year. Basically, our lows should be in the mid to upper 20s, so we're still averaging a bit above normal for this time of year, but obviously much chillier than what we've been dealing with the past several days. When we take a look at the infrared satellite picture, you can see high pressure is in control throughout the northern mid-Atlantic and really throughout much of the northeast. I'm expecting tranquil weather conditions for today on through tomorrow. Now, we've been keeping an eye on this disturbance right here and the potential for it to interact with this disturbance here. However, it looks like the timing is going to be off and this storm is going to be crushed as it's moving east. As a result, while there could be some minor impacts for southern New Jersey and southern Pennsylvania on early Sunday morning, with a few scattered rain and snow showers, other than that, there really won't be much in the way of an impact from this storm as it's moving east and out into the Atlantic. So high pressure will basically be in control for much of this weekend for about roughly 90% of the northern mid-Atlantic. So if you have any plans for the Super Bowl this weekend, don't worry. They won't be impacted by the weather one bit. So let's take a look at the forecast using the GFS model guidance. Now you can use the GFS, the European or the Canadian model guidance at this point. All of the models are pretty much in strong agreement for this weekend and through early next week. For this afternoon, high pressure will be in control with tranquil weather conditions. Now notice leading up to this event, or non-event really for this weekend, we have our subtropical disturbance and our polar disturbances. Here's our polar jet, here's our subtropical jet. What could have happened is that this disturbance and this disturbance phase and produce a powerful storm along the east coast. But that's not going to happen. What's basically going to happen is that the upper level low associated with this trough over southeast Canada is going to crush this disturbance. Kind of think of it like a giant wheel crushing a bunch of rocks on a conveyor belt. So while this conveyor belt is sending this disturbance to the east, it basically crushes the disturbance as this strong disturbance produces what's called subsidence on the backside. See, the problem here is timing. The timing is off with this whole setup. So as a result, instead of these two disturbances phasing, this one crushes this one, and as a result, you end up with no storm. So on Saturday, I'm expecting tranquil weather conditions as high pressure will be in control. Moving into Sunday, again, Sunday morning, there could be a few isolated rain, snow showers over southern New Jersey. Not expecting any major impacts whatsoever, but don't want you to be surprised either if you see a few snow flurries out there on Sunday morning. That low pressure system will pass to the south as it again weakens and is crushed by the disturbance to the north. I'd say by about 1 p.m. on Sunday, skies will begin to clear. High pressure will be in control leading into Monday. So basically, I'm expecting quiet weather conditions moving on through this weekend with temperatures seasonable, talking about upper 30s to lower 40s for highs and lows in the mid 20s to lower 30s. Again, nothing too cold, but basically seasonable. Say goodbye to the 60s that we dealt with earlier on this week. On Tuesday, a cold front will approach the northern mid-Atlantic. Now, I'm not expecting much in the way of showers, but temperatures will be slightly warmer in the upper 40s ahead of this cold front. Behind the cold front, much colder air builds in as a polar high pressure takes control for Wednesday and Thursday, and temperatures struggle in the upper 30s to lower 40s for highs. Again, pretty much a quiet week going into for the weather for next week, so I'm not expecting much in the way of major weather impacts, just basically your normal chilly weather conditions for February. And even those chilly weather conditions will not be all that bad. We're talking about average to slightly above normal temperatures moving on throughout this entire week with no major storms, no major impacts whatsoever. That's your forecast discussion for Friday. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. As always, you could trust in NYNJPA Weather for all your weather needs at nynjpaweather.com and NYNJPA Weather on Twitter and on Facebook. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Good luck, Giants.